Hi, good afternoon, it's Gene from Avstar Observatory. We've got a Earth Health at a Glance update for you. It's Wednesday, it'll probably be the last one that comes in before Christmas, obviously, because this is the only Wednesday before Christmas this week, so that's obviously stands to reason, doesn't it? We will be back after Christmas in about 7 days with another update for you. Guys, again, I keep saying, don't take this for granted. We're very lucky that we have tens of thousands of pounds worth of equipment at the observatory at the disposal for you guys to keep you informed on not just the latest position and current movement with the magnetic North Pole, but also a lot of other things like CO2 equipment, oxygen sensors, as well as a lot of other things, like we've got all around the world. And we have had one of our superstars, Kendall, over in Canada, send us yesterday his data from his magnetometer, so we'll be getting into that a little bit later on the video. But guys, it's a little bit disheartening, I've got to say. There is going to be within the next 24 hours over 1,000 people view this video, and I know that people can see the donate button on the website, but they just simply choose to walk past it. We can't keep putting our hand here at the observatory all the time in our own pocket, and we really need to do something about the level of support we're getting. This is your observatory, guys. It's entirely up to you where you want this to go. A lot of work up to this point in time has been put in. I can't put any more effort than what I am doing. Wednesdays are, through my own fault, a big day. We have to get out the oxygen sensor, the CO2 sensor, and we take a reading from the muon, we take a reading from the background radiation, so it involves a lot of equipment. And obviously being we've surpassed the 17th, the latest magnetic position of the North Pole has also been updated, along with all the other stuff that we've done. But if you just have a quick look, you'll see how much we actually get through on a Wednesday, and that's not without processing the data that comes in from the other locations around the world. So quite a lot is going on. Some days, I sit here in front of the computer, adjusting the website, keeping that up to date, informing you on YouTube if that's the only way you get to hear about this, like a lot of people it is. And it'd just be amazing if at this point in time, a couple of days before Christmas, we could raise a few bucks. I just am frustrated. Last 4 days, not a single donation towards the observatory. And I know it's the quietest point of the year. I've been trying to put this over to a few people to say, look, now is the real time to step forward. This is where we need support going through, Christmas and the New Year. It always slows down. And, it's just frustrating sometimes to try and get that message over to people. So what, guys, you may be one of these people that have never funded and supported us. Well, now's a good time. And, if you can afford to and have done before, now's a good time, guys. That's all I can say. A lot of work gets put into this, and there has been a big investment by myself. I'll be honest with you. I'm in the red now on my credit cards, slightly going into my overdraft, and I'm concerned. I really am. And we've also took on another project because I feel it's of importance that we do invest a little bit of time and effort into seeking alternative methods of running our homes with power. So there is a back bench project underway, as well as all what we're trying to do as well. We've get more equipment out into the field, so we get a more broader and clearer picture of what's going on with our Earth. Now, I do see this a lot, people just taking things for granted. If we look at a few things that have changed, like the geomagnetic field, it's become unsettled. X-rays are normal. You can see the largest magnitude of earthquake is in the northern East Pacific rise at 5.8. We have a slight increase in the volcanic eruptions around the world. We're now at 26. So we are closing that distance between what we've been seeing with a reduction in these, and that That is good news, guys. That tells us that our core is not completely dead. We've got an active core, so we will have an active magneto, and in turn, you know, things are slowly churning away beneath our feet. But we should be thankful that they are, because the magnetosphere is what gives us protection from outer cosmic and galactic radiation. If that goes down, we're in big trouble. You know, if we see a continuation of the depletion of sunspots like we have over the last 33 years, that just tells us that we've still got a weakened magnetosphere, sorry, a weakened heliosphere, which protects the whole of our solar system from galactic and intergalactic cosmic radiation. So, you know, these things should be important to people. What I've done here by, you know, producing the Earth Alpha at a glance is give you a quick thermometer, like you do when you look at your car temperature and you see it sitting in the middle of warm and cold, you know, and you know you're okay, you're not overeating. And, you know, for a lot of people, this is a first glance at, you know, some of the major anomalies that take place, like earthquakes, solar X-rays, you know, the jet streams. You know, just a quick glance at what's going on. You can see this progression with the magnetic poles still migrating on our planet. You can see that the CO2 is stable. Again, you know, I don't know what all the hype is from a lot of these organisations telling people that if we run away with CO2 we'll all be dead. No, if we keep reducing CO2 numbers, we are closer to killing the planet than we are by increasing it. We could easily increase the CO2 to 1,000 parts per million. So we could have easily, if we wanted, 1,500 parts per million. You know, right now in your living room, if there's a couple of people breathing in and out air in that living room, already the parts per million are over 1,000, probably close to 1,400 parts per million in your living room right now. If I took that CO2 detector onto a moderately crowded train, it would go up to 2,000 parts per million, and you wouldn't be passing out. You know, we've all sat on trains for over an hour in those conditions, and we've not passed out, and it's not, you know, we've not left the train dying and gasping for oxygen. It's just that what the politicians are telling us, based on their scientific advisors, is that CO2 is a serious problem. And of course we have other organisations out there now, and, you know, pressure groups. I'm not going to mention the name because they don't need any advertisement, but you know what I'm on about. And they're telling us that, you know, there's not going to be a world for our children. It's clearly not the case. And the only way you find out by the real facts is by observatories like ours that actually have the equipment, do the scientific process of collecting the data, and based on, you know, what we've collected over a good period of time now, we've got over 3 months worth of data on Earth Alpha at a glance, and you can see that CO2 levels are not, you know, increasing exponentially. You know, they're pretty much stable. They're always around the figure of what you're looking at there, 415 parts per million. Atmospheric oxygen, we've included that because there was people with concern about whether we was using up atmospheric oxygen or it was actually increasing. So we put together the state-of-the-art piece of equipment using the Illuminox sensor. You know, this is the state-of-the-art piece of equipment that monitors very accurately levels of oxygen in the atmosphere, and we record that for you, as well as, you know, the positioning of the magnetic North Pole. That Trimag system, you couldn't buy it for less than £100,000. So that gives you an idea of the amount of investment we have today, even though we've built it ourselves. You go and ask a company to write the program, build the electronics, and by the way, we only want one of these. It's going to come in at thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. We're very unique to have that piece of equipment. The magnetometers, again, you know, for proper magnetometers like we've got out in the field, again, we're talking, you know, a couple of grand a unit. We've got 5 of those out there, one in Arizona, Canada, Hong Kong, 2 in Australia, 1 here in the UK. Again, thousands of pounds worth of equipment. And then we get into the muon detectors, the cost of those. Easy £5,000 worth of equipment. Easy, because, you know, we looked at buying neutron detectors to see if it'd be just easier to buy them as opposed to build them. We found that was coming in at £4,500 each, and that is a particle that is larger than the muon that we actually detect with our muon detector. So it just stands to reason that it would cost more, wouldn't it? Just like I'm saying, guys, you know, it's not just having the equipment, it's having the skill set to process the data, put it up on a website for you guys. What I'm saying is a lot of time, a lot of effort, keeping you guys informed. And you know what, I just shake my head because we're getting close to Christmas, for a couple of days away. You know, I'm in this financial situation. I know there's a few others of you out there that are in that situation, but you know, could you just put yourself in my shoes and, you know, for a minute just think about all the hard work that has gone into this, and you know, the funding from, you know, you guys, the public, is just not there. You know, we need to really up our game on this. And you know, I can do as much as I want, I can have as much enthusiasm as I can possibly wish for, but without a bit of funding, it simply doesn't make it possible. That's all I'm saying, guys. So before I end this, I want to just go over to the data that was sent in by our superstar Kendall and show you what's going on there. Canada. Let me get Polshift news on the website. It's the quickest way, I think. So Mavstar global data, down to Canada, and it should come up. Yeah. So these are recent data from Canada. Remember, guys, we're expecting to see a drop, and at some points it does go into, as you can see on the left hand bar there, 58. And that is exactly what we're expecting to see. I am, you know, curious as to why we get these big drops for a period of time, but it looks like about a week and a half, and then it goes back up, you know, to 60 on the left-hand column. Remember, this is not far off the actual microtesla strength of Canada. It's around about 55, and is slowly but gradually dropping off. Now, when we go back to Earth Alpha at a glance, you know, what I will do is alter the magnetosphere strength at the bottom of the chart. When we see it dip into the 59s, we can drop off, you know, 1 microtesla off that. You know, I did also say 3 days ago in the last video that I did, that we should be hearing from the mainstream organisations like NASA and the European Space Agency and NOAA about a sudden change that we've recorded here over the last month of collecting data on the position of the magnetic pole, because it has migrated slightly more than what it has done for a long period of time, and we are bumping over 13 degrees on the heading on that. So we know that it's migrating a little bit more. We know that there's been a sudden change. We're just waiting now for, you know, the other organisations, if they are going to make an announcement on that. But again, guys, we've beaten to the table in producing the data first and notifying you guys. So, you know, we come into our own when we do things like that. It's not the first time we've done it. If you remember the beginning of this year, we made an announcement that there was going to be, like we have done today, you know, perhaps another updated world magnetic model of the current positions and conditions of our planet with regards to those high and low intensities around the world. But yeah, in short, guys, you know, I can keep, you know, doing what I do so long as I get a little bit of funding to help me do that and assist us here at the observatory. You know, we've had more stuff delivered today at, you know, the cost of my own pocket on this. It'd just be great if we could, you know, get a few more people to realise and understand and just appreciate a little bit more the effort that goes in. I know some of you do. I know the patrons do every month. They're there supporting us. But, you know, there is the PayPal. There's the link on the website. You know, we really need to do a little bit more than what we're doing, because we're not even paying or managing to even pay a single person's salary at this observatory. It's just, in my view, not where it should be right now, guys. So, you know, the links are down there. It's entirely up to you. The ball is definitely in your court. I just hope that you can take the time out. I know it's a bit of a ball ache. If you can take the time out, you know, make a donation, you know, we can probably turn this round. I know that we could turn it round. It just requires more than just 1 or 2 people stepping forward. Okay, guys, hopefully there'll be an update on the magnetic motor that we're working away with there. I know we've got to build some more 3D printed stuff for that, so hopefully before Christmas has arrived, you'll hear of another update from me. But if you don't, I just want to wish you a good Christmas. Have a great Christmas with you and your guys and your loved ones. We are moving towards a point in time where things are going to start noticeably affecting us more than ever. So enjoy it while you can. That's the main thing. And again, just to mention it, not to be a pain in the arse, but there is a link down there if you want to support what we do here. Hopefully you do. And the only other thing to say is what I usually do, guys. You have a great time. As always, bye for now.